Daryl and Jesse have been panel beating their absolute hearts out and their work is paying dividends. This week we're approaching the final stages of the build. Daryl is going to be refurbishing the steering mechanism and Jesse is going to be pulling out the turret basket out of the donor vehicle. Hi, I'm Kurt from Oz Armour and welcome to Workshop Wednesday. When we began this build, these mudguards looked like crumpled pieces of paper thrown on the floor. And check them out now. Totally unrecognisable from what they were. Remember this mudguard from last time? We had to cut away some areas that were too squashed to refabricate, but as you can see, the finish has turned out seamless. Daryl pulled the steering unit off the donor vehicle for use in the final display vehicle. Having some steering will make it a lot easier to manoeuvre around the museum when we change up displays or host functions.
In the one we're restoring, there was no steering unit in it, so I've had to pull this unit out of the donor vehicle. Even though it's a static, we want to be able to move it around in the museum, so by having the steering work, it's just going to make the boys work easier. I've taken 1 kilometre of copper tubing out. Basically, I just have to start one end and try and figure out how it comes apart. As you can see, the rack and pinion here is working okay. It seems to all work okay, so we're pretty happy about that. We don't have the actual proper mount for the steering wheel, so we'll just have to make up a mount, put the steering wheel on it. That'll go on there, and we'll basically just have to weld it to the column here because we've got no other way of making a spline. See, there's a spline here. So we've just got a firm fit and we'll just tack weld it on there. That'll do what we need to make it operate. Well, these are the ball joints. It's basically a great deal of grease, actually.
A great deal of grease.
Yeah, this part is actually inside the vehicle up to about here, and this part here is on the outside. Well, that connects to another steering arm that comes off that point there, and they're all held on with little half clamps because of the ball joint. And the other one is mounted inside the steering unit. With once again, you've got little half moon clamps that go around the ball joint. And then this tightens it all up. If you want to jump in, I'll pass it to you. It mounts with 4 bolts. Those ones go in, that's the bottom. Right? Yeah. So that ring's on the bottom. Going this way. Yeah. So if you jump inside, I'll pass it to you.
Gonna go like that?
No, the other way around. That end up this end. Sorry, I probably did the other way.
That's right. Well, she's heavy.
Get that on the big jobs.
Right, and then just lay it over into it.
You have your eggs this morning, Jess?
Eggs? I had my oats.
You had your oats?
Yeah.
Just watch your head too, you're right on the head banging area.
Head banging.
Head banging.
Oh. You want a hand? You're right.
No.
There's a bracket tipping on this side. Yep.
Oh, I got it.
Yep. I think it should be okay. It's not going anywhere. Yep. Just rather tight. Rather tight.
Firefly! Nachladen abgeschlossen!
Like that?
Yeah. So you gotta feed that in and I gotta hold that, right?
Yeah.
In here.
This is your locking rings. They go on the shaft first.
Yeah, so you're going to poke the shaft in and I'm going to put them on.
Yeah, that's got to go on first.
Yeah.
So it's got a taper bit there, and
Yeah.
that gives you the curve to lock around the ball joint.
Yeah, and then the whole thing gets pushed in.
That little compression spring goes in first, into that hole there now.
Yep.
That goes in and engages in those teeth into the...
In here?
Yeah, you'll feel it lock in, engage into something.
Yep.
Put that housing on there.
Yep. Yep. Stay there. So I need to put that nut on. Can you poke him? No, go back out again a bit. God, I'm gonna hold this and push that in at the same time. Alright, so that first nut's on.
I'll poke it over there and you get closer to it, otherwise they'll fall off it, I think, won't they?
Keep going. Yep.
Right, so can you get a half moon on and then the other one on top?
Just go out a bit. Yep.
Is that the right way?
It's up there. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, go in a bit. Push him in. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Is it engaged?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, if that's, yeah, that'll do that. Too long, too short. Yes.
Moving to the outside of the vehicle now, Daryl has to line up the cover plate for the steering assembly.
Yeah, hold on.
Does that help?
Oh, hold on. I've got to line that spring up on the thing. Yep, can you line everything up? Oh, so just down there.
So close.
Yeah. Yep. I think you're right, Daryl.
It's a fiddly bit of kit, that's for sure. Daryl is now just putting the final few pieces onto the next part of the linkage.
This must be a part that wore pretty easy. It gets held in with 4 pins. So we've just got to drop those pins back in.
So that's where the ball joint goes.
That's it, yeah, that's where the ball joint
So
goes.
there'd be a lot of friction there.
Yeah, so must be a replaceable part, a wear part. So just put those pins back in. One more hidden in here. Alright, this is basically the pivot point for the front of the front steering. So this just drops in. So it rotates in there. And now we join this ball joint into this cup here. And by doing that, we've got 2 half cups because you couldn't do it because of the ball, you wouldn't get anything over it. So they basically go around it. So you've got that flat edge there. So we'll go around basically like that and push in. I've just got to play around with it. That one's on. I'll drop in there. And basically it's just a matter. Hey Jess, I'll get you to wind the steering out towards us if you wouldn't mind. Other way? Yeah, can you go any more that way? Alright. Beautiful. This just goes up. Push this brake line out of the way. We just basically bring the two together. I can rotate that there.
Do you want your bolts?
No, they're just above me. I just gotta make sure they line up.
It's called a love tap.
Yeah, love tap. I'd love to tap it harder, but I'm not allowed.
Does that help?
Alright, that's a good sign.
She's biting.
It's biting.
I've got a biter.
I'll just gently pull this in by using the bolts. So spacer it on first. Spacer, then there's a lock washer, same design, matches that. And then
Finishing touch.
I'll just have to get a spanner or something that'll tighten that up. See what it steers like.
It's working. Yeah. Well, that'll make it a bit easier for when we drive it in.
Well, that's it.
Or tow it in, I should say.
Rightio, so
On to the next one.
just got to do that another 3 times and we're laughing.
Now for the turret basket. Daryl is really keen to save this and restore it. He has assured everyone that it's definitely salvageable. But before we can even think about that, it has to be taken out of the vehicle. Jesse needs to cut it into some manageable pieces just to be able to handle it.
Yeah, we think this is the traversing mechanism.
Put on that pile of treasure.
That's it.
Treasure.
Okay.
Something on my back. And then hopefully it should loosen off.
Hopefully.
How am I going to reach it? Hoping that's all the bolts. Should just be able to give us a bit of a pull. Alright.
Is there one there?
There's not, I think it's just jammed.
Is there one there?
I think it's jammed. What is that? That's holding it up.
What is that?
I'm not sure.
Some kind of linkage.
So that's what was holding it. Hold up. We can still get him to do that. I'll get him over and he can say like, look, I don't think it's usable. just stayed, it's too twisted and bent, you know. Be more work trying to fix that than making a brand new one. You'll never see it.
Yeah.
You know, other than the footage that we're showing now, you'll never see it. So there's really no point.
Oh, we'll cut it up a bit and pull it out and see.
Yeah. Get it out and have a little look.
Have a real look. All
see
right.
what we can do with it. Got it out.
Part 1.
Cut along here.
Might be a bit beyond repair, Daryl.
I'm hearing you.
Coming around to it.
We've done enough panel beating on this thing. We've got like rivets in it. I'll drag this out, you get the other bits out. Might have to lift it. Can we fix it?
Maybe not this one.
I was so keen at the start.
This was out of a Panzer IV that would definitely be worth fixing up, but this vehicle is not quite in that league for rarity or value. Al just finished a little trailer for our Kettenkrad and is now helping the boys transfer the wheels over.
Now what I'll do is I'll get a pop star and pop it in the hole. Need another one. Okay, push it straight in. Oh, you've got to roll that. We might need to get a bolt in where we can. Just get a bolt in. Right. That's started.
Keep going. There you go.
Right, tighten them up so you can't pop off that. Yep, right there.
The next job will be to remove the turret and see if the turret ring is usable for another upcoming project. But that's all we have time for today. Join us next Wednesday for your weekly tank restoration fix. So until then, I'm Kurt from Oz Armour, and I'll see you on the next one.